Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a Hornby wagon. I just realised I put this back in upside down, but never mind. Yes, why am I talking about just the wagon today? Well, I think it's so important with the price of model trains and the state of the world today to talk about how you can find bargains easily. And this, I would consider a bargain. I picked this up from Tony's Trains of Rugby, and I only paid £16. Yes, that's right, £16 for a brand new, modern manufactured wagon. Yeah, let's get this out of the box real fast and look at the details. And here we go. As you can see, this is a modern Hornby wagon. Plenty of detail, both separately fitted on the underframe and moulded detail all around the top of the three-plant wagon, along with fantastically detailed tampo printing on the side for the LMS and the running number. There's even a builder's plate just there if you can see it. Yes, this is a fantastic wagon for the price. As I say, it was £16.50, I think it was £16.50 from Tony's Trains of Rugby. And for the price, this is a fantastically detailed and well-built wagon. It has got NEM pockets that are kinematic, so it should be able to go around very tight curves. We will test that later. The only problem with the moulding, decoration, or separately fitted parts is if you look inside, you can just sort of see where the moulding, or this won't be sprues, but where the injection moulding was done. You can see the circles in the planking on the base, if you can see that. Other than that, this is perfect. Now, why is this so important to talk about? Well, the retail price for this wagon was £23 at launch, or £22.99. That is a lot of money for a tiny little wagon. It's not the most expensive on the market. Rapido and Accurascale, I believe, are retailing wagons that are more expensive than this currently. Are those worth the extra money? Maybe. This is missing a couple of features, but I would consider them luxury. For instance, no sprung buffers. Now, it's not the end of the world, but I personally do quite like it because it's a prototypical feature to have on your wagons. So yeah, these are fixed buffers, but they do look really, really good. Other than that, these do have kinematic couplings, but they're done on a thin piece of plastic that springs it back into the center. But because it's obviously got couplings on both ends, the kinematics have to be offset slightly. So one way they've got a lot of movement, the other way, not so much. Not great, not perfect, but even going around, going over points, going around curves, we will fully test that later because I have radius 1, 2, 3, and 4 on my track, so we can see what these can actually do. As I said, I picked these up from Tony's Trains for, I think it was about £16.50, something like that. They are available on the TMC for £18.39. Which is better than the £22.99. It's still not great. Would I pay 23 quid nearest damn it for this? Probably not. When you consider that Dapol do wagons for the 11, 12, 13 pounds range with similar features, that makes this a very hard sell at £23. At £16.50, considering Dapol doesn't make a wagon like this currently, I think this is pretty decent value for money. Now, let's see how well it does on the track. So now we're doing the coupling test. To start it off, we've got a BR Thompson, a similar Hornby wagon, the wagon we are testing, a mainline wagon, and then off to the side here that you can't quite see is a Bachmann brake van. Now I'm going to reverse the BR Thompson very slowly and see how well this goes. There you go, I think that's all coupled. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks good to me. Yeah, we've got coupled here. And then the most important ones are between these two wagons. That is a full coupling. And then between the Hornby wagon and the older style mainline wagon, so these are older couplings, that is a full coupling as well. Passed with flying colours. Okay, so as you can see, I've hooked up the wagon to a Southern Terrier from Hornby. I don't have an 040 or an 060 with modern NEM tension lock couplings. Now, This is only a problem in the sense of I cannot give this LMS wagon its best chance to succeed because it's got to couple with the older style Dapple couplings that were present on this Loco, because I believe Hornby bought the tooling from Dapple in the 90s, I think. This means that the wagon's actually at a massive disadvantage here. Even so, let's see how well it does. First things first, let's send it around the layout and see how it handles fourth radius curves. This outside line here is fourth, this is third. This line is a mix of first and second radius. So we're going to start with fourth, go to third, and then try first and second, and we will see how this wagon handles. Now, fourth radius, I don't see this being an issue. Like, pretty much everything should be able to do fourth radius. And here it comes now. No problem. That's one full loop of fourth radius. Not a problem. Let's move on to third. And I am ensuring that the hooks on both the wagon and the Loco are engaged in order to truly test this. As I say, with these older style couplings that aren't meant to move, this can throw the wagon off as its kinematic couplings attempt to compensate for the curve. So here it comes now. The end of the third radius loop, no problem so far. And there we go. Third radius, not a problem. This is going to be the true test. I'm going to move it onto my first and second radius loop. Now then, onto the first and second radius test. If the layout's looking a little different, that's because it is a little bit different. I lost the footage of the first take of this, so I'm having to re-record. So let's do this again. Just to briefly go over what I said in the previous recording, which is now gone. This track is set track, second, first, first, second, and on the other side, starting from the side closest to the camera, it's second, first, first, first. So it's a mix of both in this loop. Right? Nothing left to do but send it and see how well the wagon does. Now I am very confident because I've done this before, but something could still happen. Let's give it a run. Ooh, wrong direction. Here we go. First half, fairly good. It's crossing points now. I have set them correctly this time, good. Go around the other side, which is a lot more first radius that side. It's done that with ease, and it's coming back around and across the line. Now let's have a quick look. On first radius, the hook from the Loco has come uncoupled, but the hook on the wagon is still engaged. Now looking at this, it seems it's a problem with the Loco, because as I've said before, this is an older style coupling, it's not a tension lock. But both are still coupled, so overall, I'm giving this a massive pass. It's not the end of the world that the Loco came unhooked, and I can't blame the wagon for this. This is mostly the Loco's fault. Brilliant. Now, let's have a quick running session with the wagon and some other trains. So, to conclude, this wagon can handle coupling up perfectly. I tried it a lot more times off camera and I've had zero problems with this coupling up perfectly with other NEM tension lock couplings. D-link couplings, a bit of iffy, sometimes both hooks didn't engage, but one thing it did across all the couplings I tried is at least this or the other wagon or other Loco did couple up. So yeah, with the old style couplings, it's kind of luck of the draw. But with other NEM tension locks, perfect every single time, which is great. It also managed to go around first, second, third, and fourth radius curves. So really, what more could you ask for? This wagon performs brilliantly. Its features for £16.50, I think fit the price, and the build quality and printing quality are excellent. Now, would I recommend this? Yes, quite frankly, for £16.50, you can't go wrong. If you want just a 3-plank wagon to go in your rake, or if you particularly want LMS wagons, this will fit in perfectly. Now, at other prices, for £22.99, I'd want to see sprung buffers. I would also like to see springs instead of this little plastic system for the kinematic couplings, because I'm not sure how well I trust this, over the course of 10, 20 years, but your mileage may vary. You might disagree with me. Maybe you don't care. Let me know down in the comments. Yeah, for £16.50, maybe even £18.30 at the model centre. I don't think that's particularly unreasonable. It's pushing it out a little bit, considering Dapol make wagons for £10, £12, £13. But that is up to you. So, now for the most important part of a review, the score. Now, for these reviews, my plan is to incorporate the price I paid. Because at the end of the day, a wagon with no features and bad printing, but only costs 50p new, is a pretty good bargain. But a fantastic wagon with all the features, amazing detail, cooks the dinner, makes you a cup of tea, puts you to bed, but costs £43 billion, not a good deal. So I paid £16.50 for this wagon. I think considering the features it's got, the features it's missing, no sprung buffers, I would give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. But when you look at some of the other prices, I think for the £18 or so that the TMC is charging, probably pushes it down to a 7. Still a fantastic wagon, but it depends on the price you're going to get it at. At full retail, I wouldn't buy this. I'd buy something from Dapol or spend a little bit more and get something from Rapido. But again, that's up to you. I think, in my opinion, this wagon for £16.50 is a solid 7.5 out of 10. If you agree with me, let me know down in the comments. If you disagree with me, equally, let me know down in the comments. Let's keep it civil, but let me know what you think. So yeah, what did you think? Do you disagree with me? Do you think that actually this is overpriced? Or do you feel like this is a complete bargain, massively underpriced? Let me know down in the comments. Have you had one of these and had any issues? Tell me, let's have a discussion down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, click like. And if you want to see more from me in the future, click that subscribe button and maybe consider ringing the bell. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next one.